Hey there, folks. Thank you for taking a few minutes to check out this video. This is going to be another walkthrough of the Andrews Forex System that you can pick up through the link below or on my blog. I'm going to look at four different pairs today. We're going to look at the New Zealand dollar, the Aussie dollar, the Euro dollar, and the pound dollar. And we're going to see if there's any setups underway here. See if there's anything we can track to see how well it works. Now, if you haven't seen it yet, here's my blog, and here's the review that I did on the Andrews Forex System. And quite frankly, like I always say, you know, most people out there, they're just marketers. They don't have the slightest idea of about trading, nor what makes up a good strategy. So, you know, take those for what they're worth. And here you can see my first impression of it, and I walk through it a little bit here. This was just to show you that, hey, yeah, I have the strategy. And what I also did is back on the 14th, I did a little walkthrough, and I went through a few trades, the most recent trades, because we had just come off a pretty good move in the pound US anyhow, and it was great because we're kind of walking into a little bit of choppy session here. But anyways, so what we have here is we had three trades, and I had to update it because when I made this video, we were still waiting for one more trade to complete, which it did do, and we'll take a look at the pound US to see if there's anything else we can look at. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so let's take a look at the first pair we're going to look at is the New Zealand dollar right here, and this is a weekly chart. And just looking at the price, there's absolutely no setup here. According to the rules that come with Andrews Forex, what we're looking for to see if there's a setup, and believe it or not, even though you see indicators on here, what we're looking for has nothing to do with an indicator. It's actually a price setup, and right now we don't have it. What we do have on this chart here is clearly a line that we can't see. One second here. Let me just fix that here. There we go. There we go now. Okay, what we do have is we have some pretty there we go, right there. Choppy conditions going on here. So there's nothing to look at, and what I'm looking for, as indicated by the Andrews Forex, it's not subjective at all. It's pretty objective. So this particular currency pair at this point in time is not something we're going to look at for a trade. All right, here's the Aussie US, and once again, pretty much like the New Zealand dollar, and I'm not surprised they look almost identical, don't they? We still don't have what we're looking for in this setup. We're still in this range here, as you can clearly see. The price action set that we're looking for is not it's not present. So we're gonna get rid of these. So we're gonna check back here. You know, later. It's going to take a few weeks, I think, before the Aussie US sets up into something that we can actually look at trading using Andrews Forex. See, this is how fast you can go through currency pairs. All right, now here's the Euro US dollar. And just by looking here at the price, we did have there was opportunities here to go long, but they are presently gone now. But let's just take a look at something here. Let me just mark off this candle right here. And I'm going to mark off this candle here. Okay, so that was a little alert system that it has. So we're going to go down to the daily chart. I just want to see when we had the opportunity for something, was it there? And even though you're seeing these arrows, okay, these are not where you just blindly buy and sell, okay? So don't be looking at it saying, well, there's the setup there, because it may or may not be a setup, okay? We don't really trade off the daily chart. We're looking for something on the daily chart. And, you know, this is somewhere in this area we would have liked to take a long trade just by the setup here, and it's going to cover it in the course as well. I have my own way of looking at of this just to see if it's you know, if it's playable, and I'd be okay looking at this particular pair. So let's drop down to the chart that we would look at for trading, and we're in this area right here. So let's just take a look here what we have. We do have a long trade set up here, and this is actually a valid trade because we're only looking for long trades, okay? And depending on how you manage this trade, it's actually a pretty good trade. quite frankly. And let's see how high it goes up. It goes up before it turns around about 41 pips. Comes back around. Your stop would be, I'll show you where that stop would be. Yeah, you may have gotten stopped out of this particular trade here. And just checking it out here. Yeah, it's quite possible. You would got stopped out of this trade here. But then again, you know, I'm unlike the markers you see, I'm be very aware of, you know, going into a brand new trend. But we're just going to call it what it is. You know, this would have been a loss right here. Come back over to this candle here. It's a nice win, actually. Doesn't even come around and test it. We have another long trade here. Let me see how far we do travel. You do get a nice little profit here. So I'm going to show you this trade here. You would have got stopped out at. Okay. This trade here, you get your target. Get your target right about in this area right here, roughly. There we go. What else we have? We've got this setup here. Now we're still valid. I'm just taking a look here. I'll give you 1 second. Yep, we're still valid on this trade here. So we would have had our winner comes in around here. Just checking out something here. Yep, that's a good trade there. And let's look at this trade here. And there's our trade right there. Okay, so we do have, we wouldn't got triggered in this trade till it breaks here. So we're looking at about this area right here. Let's be honest here. And you're looking at around this area right here that you would have got out for your profits. So we've got we had one loser trade, and then we've got 3 in a row that are winners. Okay, I'm just double checking this trade here. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that this was a valid trade. Okay, so you would have had 1 loser and then 3 winners, and all your winners. We're looking at a bit better than a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. If you trade it the standard way, there's also a more advanced way that where you're trading and you're looking at swing highs and swing lows, like this area right here, for your targets. Okay, so and this actually goes nicely up to that level. Oh, we're not going to count this one because this is where things kind of turned around on us. So you're looking at this level right here. Now remember, I always talk about this, you know, in my other videos. We're looking at support and resistance. Don't be thinking that they're just price points, because they're not. They're general areas. This is at 3409. Remember, round numbers, right? So you'd be looking. Let's bring us down here to 1 point. What did I say that was? 3409, right? So it's 3390. So you're looking at this area right here, and it does come to the full target. Now, if you would have, you know, if you're looking for these kind of moves where you're playing the more advanced, you would have got stopped out on this trade, gone long again on this trade, and it would have rallied out for 286 pips, pretty much hand off. So that's that trade. So let's keep on looking. We have the pound US. All right, here's the pound US. Right now, we may have a setup, or the conditions for a setup in this pair. Well, we don't have one right now. Okay, we have to wait till the end of the week to find that out. But you can see in this area right here, this was the area that I highlighted in the video, in the up move here. I believe it was anyhow. I'm not exactly sure when it was. I took all the markings off, obviously. But here we don't have, the conditions are not yet ready. Okay, so just a quick look at 4 pairs, right? And we would have had the Euro US dollar was the only thing that we had recently that we could have traded, and you know, nice profit. If it would just traded the normal way, the more the what do you want to call it, conservative way of trading that, you're looking at about 180 minus. So you're looking at about 130 pips on the Euro US dollar on those 3 trades. Is it 3 trades or was it 4? Let me just bring that back up again. We have 1, 2, 3, or 4 trades, or you would have just gone up for here for 200 and change. Now that's just basic stuff, okay? When you buy strategies like this, you don't want to just trade it the way they trade it out of the box. Okay, there's nothing wrong with trailing your stop up. Maybe you find different ways you want to trail your stop up. Every time it convincingly breaks new highs, right? Every time it comes down a retest, for example, just even though it breaks the high here, which is for example, we can do a little bit of a lesson here. Now, some people say when it makes a new high, move your stop. The problem with that is if it does break down, let me just show you here. So, for example, we'll take this trade here. This trade gets stopped out. This stopped out trade, so I'm not going to do that one. It makes no sense. So we do break above the high here, and what you want to do is this: breaks above the high. Don't automatically move your stop. Let the price come away from it, and then move back down to do the test, and then move back up. Okay, that way you're not moving. You're saying, okay, well, broke above here. I'm going to move my stop to here, and then get taken out on a spike. Okay. That's one thing you might want to take a look at in your own trading. Just trailing your stop, scale out. There's so many different things you could do. All right, so that's that. Let's call it a video. Pick up the strategy and give it a whirl. I think be quite happy with what you see.